Hey everyone, it's Movie Lover 120 here, and I'm here with episode 22 at night time of my Halloween horror movie review series, and that is, of course, for none other than Saw 3, one of the final sequel reviews I'm going to be doing this week. So, of course, this was released just much like Saw 2, which was released a year after the first one. Saw 3 was literally released just a year after Saw 2. And of course, this was pretty much the film that's the installment where Saw really started to become torture porn. Like the term they invent. And torture porn is basically a movie that contains scenes of torture, graphic violence, and some scenes of hardcore sexual stuff. Much like with the Hostel movies. However, I don't really think Saw's torture porn. Like, there's no porn in Saw. Like, it's just torture. So, I would just call Saw torture. A torture movie. I'm just going to call it a torture genre. Well, to be fair, with the first one, James Wan didn't really want the first film to be a torture film, so just wanted that to be a mystery thriller film. But then, of course, Lionsgate amped up the gore for the next few sequels to Saw. And this was how he got the torture version for the next films. And this is actually, surprisingly, of all the Saw sequels, this one is easily the goriest and the darkest. I mean, they don't let up on anything in this movie, no. Like, they go extreme to the top. I mean, even a few cinema goers actually passed out when they went to see this movie when it came out. And you can really see why. I mean, it's even got an MPA battle with an NC-17 rating. Unlike most of the other movies, they had to battle the MPAA just to get that R rating. But anyway, how about that? Well, here's what the movie about. Well, first I'm going to reveal the opening scene, guys, and spoilers if you have not seen Saw 2. If you have not seen Saw 2, I would not watch this video because there's going to be quite a bit of spoilers in the scene I'm going to be talking about. And it takes place after the end of Saw 2, so go watch Saw 2 first, and then come to this video. Then go watch Saw 3, and then come to this video. But anyway, so, remember at the end of Saw 2, Eric Matthews is now chained up in the dirty bathroom from the first film, after Amanda sealed him in there after she revealed that she would become the next Jigsaw after John dies. However, Eric Matthews finds the broken toilet lid, smashes his foot, snaps it, and escapes his chains, and then, of course, it cuts to the actual film after he escapes. Jigsaw has disappeared, along with his new apprentice Amanda, the puppet master, and the cruel and intricate games that have terrified a community and baffled police has once again eluded capture and vanished. While city detectives scramble to locate him, Dr. Lynn Denlin and her husband Jeff Renner are unaware they are about to become the latest pawns on his vicious chessboards. So yeah, that's what the film's about. Well, technically, he captures this female doctor to keep him alive long enough while he oversees her husband going through this game. And I'll explain this. Her husband is going through grief because her son is dead. Because his son died in a car accident. And he's been constantly going through a hell time with their divorce. And their divorce has caused them to neglect their own daughter, the only kid they have left. And because of that, they both become targets for the next game. And now, remember when Saw and Saw 2 had somewhat decently likable characters? Well, now, the doctor is still likable. I mean the female doctor keeping John alive. The one who's not likable is her husband Jeff. Oh my god. I cannot stand Jeff. He pisses me off the most. Basically, and here's why. Basically, he neglects his own daughter all because she took a plush out of her dead his dead son's room just to sleep with it, and he gets all mad at her just for doing that. And then starts off with his first test. He finds this woman chained in his freezer room and getting sprayed with ice cold water, and he has to basically free her by trying to get this key at this behind this ice cold fence. And apparently the woman's there because she didn't testify against his son's murderer, and so he just decides to stand there and actually try to let her die. But then once when she's literally dead, decides to finally try to free her, but it's already too late. Well, he does save one person, but in the next test, he does save like one person, which is the judge that was overseeing the case involving his son's death. But then, of course, it proves to be for nothing because the third and final one they get to is the son's killer who actually killed him by accident and shouldn't really have had to be in that game. Because he actually didn't mean to kill his son, it was by accident, and he actually looked very horrified at what he had done just through the flashbacks. And of course, once again, Jeff just screws around and just stands there, contempt, and doesn't even care, while the trap his son's accidental killer's in is in this thing called, the rack, that holds like your arms and legs, and it's the most painful trap in the series. I mean, basically, the rack twists your arms, your legs, and then your neck. And of course, when it's pretty much too late, he once again finally decides to save, tries to get the key that's attached to a shotgun, accidentally triggers the shotgun, and kills the judge that he actually decided to rescue in the nick of time before he drowned in that pig guts. But by the time he's about to get the key, it's already too late. The guy in the rack trap is dead. But yeah, that's it for character. But so the traps were good, definitely the best ones of the whole series. It's similar to the second film. The story's similar to the second film's level of intensity. That technically, it's clear that Jigsaw is designed to go out with a bang. That he decides the final task force that to test students their ability to forgive one another, like this game in this movie. The whole series once again, much like the first two, there was definitely a nice twist at the end, but honestly, I feel like this should have been the end to the series, really, because, well, I'm going to spoil the end, guys, so don't watch. So, get out, exit this video right now if you're interested in watching this series, because this is going to be a spoiler. Alright, I'm going to count down my fingers, and I'm going to reveal it in 3, 2, 1. Basically, Lynn Denlin has been shot by Amanda, and so Jeff retaliates in response by killing Amanda with this gun that John provided him during his game with the one bullet. It's probably the only good thing Jeff really does in the film because, well, Amanda is basically very psychotic in this film and basically was letting her victims basically die by not letting their traps be even escapable, and basically caused Adam to fail his test in the first one, and basically caused him to fail the game in the first one and be left to die at the end of the first film. So it was good that it was very awesome to see her die for this movie. It was very well deserved, and definitely the most satisfying death of the series. But then now Lynn Denlin is now in need of a hospital, so he gets one test. He forgives John, which he says he does. Jeff says he forgives John, but then stupidly slits John's neck. And that John is dead, but before he's dead, he plays a tape saying he was his final test, and that he's the only person. Apparently, it turned out that Jeff's daughter was also abducted sometime during the film, and is now trapped in a room with only a limited supply of air. And John has to play a game, and that John's the only person that knows where he is. But unfortunately, since Jeff killed John stupidly, He failed his test, and now he's basically trapped in the sick room with his dead wife because, well, the trap that's on her neck is attached to John's monitor, and so since John died, Lynn dies. And that's pretty much the end of the movie. Yeah, so what do I think of this film? Well, it's a good sequel, but it's definitely the weakest of the original trilogy, but this would have not been a bad ending to the series, but no. They made 4 more sequels. Yeah, that happened. But anyway, how would I rank Saw 3? Here's how I'd rank it.
I am going to give Saw 3 a 7 out of 10.
And that's it for my review of Saw 3. Now, you're wondering what my next review is going to be. Well, my next review is actually going to be on Friday. And I'm going to be reviewing, of course, Army of Darkness, the moment you've all been waiting for. Since I talked to the first Evil Dead films, now it's time to talk about the third and final one of the original series. And I am so stoked to do it, and I know all of you are definitely stoked to hear me talk about this movie too. So, with that being said, that'll be it for this video, guys. Thank y'all for watching, and if you like this and want to see more, and don't forget to like and subscribe to Movie Lover 120.